Modern Warfare 3, or Modern Warfare 2.5, depending on how you look at it, is here, and I spent my weekend grinding in order to bring you 13 tips and tricks if you're new to the game or just want to learn some extra stuff about it. These tips are mostly going to be for multiplayer, by the way, for reasons. Gonna start with some settings changes so you can get in touch with your inner tryhard, but if you don't care about your settings and want to dive into the more in-game related stuff, go ahead and jump to number 4, you little corner cutter. Number 1, change these visual settings immediately. I'm gonna hard recommend that you turn off world motion blur and weapon motion blur before going into the game. These settings are for offering a more cinematic visual experience, which is fine if that's what you're into. But leaving these settings on can make things in-game seem a little blurry, which is definitely not going to go over well if you're trying to pop off in multiplayer. While you're in there tweaking settings, be sure to also turn film grain completely off for the same reasons I just mentioned, and also expand your FOV. You can keep the number low and tight if you want, but expanding it will allow you to see more of what's around you, which is obviously going to make finding enemies a bit easier to do in PvP. The max FOV is 120, but I find that a little too jarring, and I'm currently at 105, but fiddle with it and use what feels best to you. Also, for some reason, if your minimap shape is on circle, yeah, don't do that. This one shouldn't really be much of an argument. You literally can see more of your minimap if it's a square, so make sure that it's a square. Number 2, hear enemies more clearly. While you're still adjusting your settings, why don't you head on over to the audio section where we have one very basic change to make and one kind of advanced change to make. The basic change is to hit the Show More button under Master Volume and customize your audio so that we can really hear enemy players coming in PvP. Go ahead and turn your gameplay music volume, dialogue volume, and cinematic music volume down and turn your effects volume up. You don't have to pump it all the way up to 100 if you don't want, but you want to make it go as high as you can without it sounding too weird in-game. Anyway, with the music volume turned down and the effects volume turned way up, you have the ability to hear enemies coming way more clearly. For the slightly more try-hard option, hit the drop-down option for audio mix. Here's where things can get tricky. Out of every option here, I've heard different recommendations from different people on what to pick. So I went into a private lobby with a buddy of mine, and we literally tested each option to see which one made enemy footsteps the loudest, because we are normal people. For me, the very clear winner was PC speaker, which made footsteps sound really heavy and very clear. But depending on your audio setup, your monitor or your TV and your headset, whatever, it could be different. Just saying, if you want to go full try hard, go into a private lobby with a buddy, spend like 2 minutes and test each one and pick the option where the enemy footsteps sound the loudest. Number 3, and my final tip related to settings, go ahead and use the quick settings menu. When you're deep in the menu fiddling around with God knows what to give you the best in-game experience, if you're tinkering with anything more than twice, why don't you just go ahead and add it to your quick settings menu. Look closely and you'll notice that you have the ability to tag settings with a tiny little star icon. Doing that adds it to your quick settings menu, which can be found here under settings. Now, rather than dumpster diving back through the entire menu every time you want to make a quick little adjustment here or there, you can have all the most important stuff right here in the quick settings menu so they're easier to find. Number 4, know about Armory unlocks and how to cheese them. Some COD experiences are universal, like hearing a 12-year-old tell you on the mic how he banged your mom, and also having to grind a lot to unlock more equipment. However, some weapons are locked behind an entirely different system, not connected with your level, but to the Armory unlocks. Basically, certain equipment can only be unlocked by completing daily challenges, which you can view in the Armory unlock system. You have to pick specifically which pieces of gear you want to unlock before grinding out those daily challenges and getting them permanently added to your loadout system. However, there's a way to kind of cheese the Armory unlock system. If you go into the zombies mode and find any gear that would normally be held behind the Armory unlock system, then extract or exfil out of the zombies mode with that gear, you unlock that item permanently. Check it out. Here I am in a game of zombies when I come across the Holger 26 light machine gun, one of the weapons in the Armory unlock system that normally I'd have to get by completing daily challenges. I get to the extraction zone, I call in the chopper and bail, and now look, the game is telling me I've successfully unlocked the gun with 0 out of 5 daily challenges complete. TLDR, find what you want in zombies and extract with it, and you can completely bypass the Armory unlock system. Keep in mind, doing this will work best with things found on the equipment page. You may have to be fairly lucky if you're using this to unlock every Armory unlock weapon. Go ahead and supplement this strategy by just trying to do daily challenges as often as you can to get all your other unlocks. Remember, there are challenges in both regular PvP mode and extra daily challenges in zombies mode as well. Speaking of zombies, use zombie mode to XP farm your rank and your weapon level. Normally in COD, when I want to up my weapon level, I hop into multiplayer and keep grinding away until the job is done. In Modern Warfare 3, it is way easier to power level your weapon in the zombies mode. Go ahead and jump in with whatever weapon you want to power level and do an objective nearby because, hey, free XP and the objectives aren't that hard. Then make your way to the nearest extraction point and call in the chopper to come and get you, and then start farming zombies, which are going to spawn a whole lot more. When the chopper arrives to come get you, simply don't get on the chopper, wait for it to fly off without you, and then just call it back and repeat. Again, the reason that works is because when you call in the chopper, a lot of zombies spawn in to attack you, and then you just use that opportunity to XP farm over and over. To make this go even faster, make sure you activate a double XP weapon token before launching your zombies match, and that brings us to number 6. Know how tokens work. From the multiplayer menu, check out the little bar down below your daily challenges, or if you're in the zombies menu, it's on the other side of the screen for whatever reason. From left to right, these tokens give you extra XP gains for your overall rank, your weapon level, and finally for progressing through the battle pass. Each token has a certain time limit, and tokens can be earned by completing certain missions in the game, as well as via some IRL commercial collaboration thing, apparently. Like through Burger King and Monster Energy, which is kind of cringe, but what are you gonna do? Number 7, know what recommended weapons do. When you're going through your loadout menu, you might notice that some weapons have a little fire icon marking it as a recommended weapon. If you have no idea what that means, I got you. Open up your launcher menu in the top right corner, go to challenges, and then weekly. Yes, while you're probably gonna be focused on daily challenges in order to complete all the Armory unlocks, don't forget there are also weekly challenges too, which can give you thick little chunks of XP here and there. You might see a challenge that says get kills with a recommended weapon. That's what the tag means. And now you know how to complete those weekly challenges with recommended weapons. Number 8, remember you can roll with either Killstreaks or Scorestreaks. If you're completely unfamiliar with COD, God love you, if you completely bend the other team over a barrel in PvP, you get Killstreaks. Basically the game rewarding you for killing a lot without dying. Most people know that you can go into your loadout menu and change your Killstreaks to whatever you enjoy the most, provided you have them unlocked. But remember, you can also toggle the option for Scorestreaks instead. The difference is that kill streaks are based on how many kills you can get in a row without dying, while score streaks are based on how many score points you can rack up in the game before dying. Why the distinction? Well, some people really like playing the objective and being team players rather than completely going balls to the wall and trying to frag out. For example, in Kill Confirmed, you get score by picking up dog tags, and if you had score streaks turned on instead of kill streaks, you could play really defensively and just focus on picking up nearby dog tags, pumping up your score, and giving you all the same streaks you would normally get if you had kill streaks turned on. Basically, if you're an objective player, you might do better with score streaks turned on, something to consider based on your playstyle. Number 9, weapon swapping is faster than reloading. This won't always come into play, but it is a good reminder for all the new blood out there that if you run out of ammo mid-fight with another dude in multiplayer, swapping to your backup gun is quicker than trying to reload in the heat of the moment. Again, there's a good shot this won't happen to you very frequently, but yeah, whip out that pistol if your mag is empty and cap the other guy rather than trying to reload your primary, which takes way longer and could get you killed. Number 10, have an anti-aircraft loadout. Please, I'm begging you, please. For the most part, when I'm playing PvP, I got my main gun and the old pistole in case of the situation I literally just mentioned in number 10. But if you're getting mollywopped by one person on the other team, you may eventually have to deal with enemy kill streaks, which can range from mild annoyances to having fiery death literally rained down onto you. You'd be really wise to have just one loadout in your arsenal designed to deal with flying kill streaks. I mean, or if you feel like you're not using your handgun that much, just roll with an anti-aircraft launcher all the time. Even if the enemy doesn't whip out the old Overwatch helicopter, you still got a tool for quickly burning down enemy UAVs, which is great. Number 11, learn how to slide cancel. Slide canceling is a 3-step process. First, you slide, second, you hit jump, and third, you aim your weapon. Now string all three together and you have a really nice little movement tech that you can use to take some people by surprise in PvP and challenge corners very quickly. Practice as much as you can if you're new and expect people to use it on you because it's really effective. Try to really make sure you're not doing the input too fast, otherwise your slide cancel is going to have too much tack stance, aka when you hold the gun kinda to the side. Number 12. You don't have to do this, by the way, but you should at least know what snaking is. This one might be a tad controversial, but even if you decide you don't want to do it, you should still at least know what it is, because COD veterans sure as hell do, and a bunch of them are going to be all too happy to do it against a newcomer like some of y'all out there. Snaking is a COD movement tech where you go prone, sprint, and repeat over and over and over. You're effectively repeatedly head glitching. You're definitely going to look like a spaz when doing it, but again, it's a movement tech designed to allow the player doing it to see over cover without really exposing themselves. Even though from your perspective, it looks very clearly that your head should be exposed and over cover, if you do this properly, it's a head glitch, aka the enemy team won't be able to see you clearly poking your head up over the wall. You should be fully aware that doing this may piss a lot of people off, but yeah, you should know what it is in case other people do it to you. And finally, number 13, you don't need a launcher to shoot down UAVs. Kind of a small one, but I'm always shocked at the people who don't know this. You can shoot down enemy UAVs even if you don't have a launcher equipped. Granted, it might be hard to do with a short-range weapon, but most ARs can get the job done like that. You might not be able to do it too much if you're on a map that has you indoors most of the time, but if you have a clean line of sight to the sky, you can just shoot the damn thing down with your primary. Something to keep in mind. If you've got any other tips or tricks you've been using, feel free to share them with your fellow new players down in the comment section. Don't forget to check me out on stream and let me know if you enjoyed today's content. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.